Kaitlyn Russo twisted the key in her hand, but the front door to the Sweetwater B&B didn't budge. Great, just great, she muttered under her breath, which floated away in a little white puff of air. Shivering and wishing she'd worn a heavier coat, she turned the key again, pressing her full weight into the door as she did. This time, it flung open and promptly dumped her on the pinewood floor inside. Dust flumed under her nostrils. With a cough, she looked up and inspected her grandparents' old bed and breakfast. Scratch that. Her bed and breakfast. She climbed to her feet, grabbed her luggage, and then closed the front door to bar the wintry cold. Turning on the light in the front room, she surveyed the homey design with high wood-beam ceilings, a detail that, as an interior designer, she'd always loved. The furniture was a tasteful blend of antique and contemporary. This place was exactly how she remembered it from her infrequent childhood visits, minus the dust mites. Nothing a little hard work couldn't fix. But first, she had plans to meet with the lawyer handling her grandmother's estate. He'd be arriving sometime in the next half hour. When she'd spoken to Mr. Garrison by phone earlier, he'd mentioned something about another person in Mabel's will. Kaitlyn couldn't imagine who that would be. Other than her parents, who'd inherited various other family heirlooms, her grandmother didn't have any living family. The Russos were a dwindling clan, all the more reason to keep their legacy alive. From the corner of her eye, Kaitlyn saw movement in the window. Then a dark figure filled the space behind the curtain. Something told her this wasn't Mr. Garrison. Lawyers tended to be civilized people who knocked on doors. Maybe a squatter had been camping out here since her Grandma Mabel's passing last month. The shadow slipped out of sight. A moment later, she heard a shuffling sound behind the front door. Terror sliced straight down her middle, and her heart kicked into a choppy staccato. She dashed to the fireplace and lifted one of the long metal pokers used to move hot coals. It could second as a lethal weapon if necessary. Like it had for her, the front door didn't release immediately. Why didn't I lock it after myself? If she were still in New York, she would have. The intruder gave the door a firm push, and it swung open, crashing against the wall behind it and making Kaitlyn scream. Standing before her was a broad-shouldered man with dark eyes, wavy, overgrown hair, and a close-trimmed beard. He was dressed in a nice pair of jeans and a weathered leather jacket. Her gaze fell to his brown mountain boots. Definitely not homeless, she decided. She held the fire poker up like a sword. "Don't come any closer," she warned with a shaky voice. "Are you planning to use that on me?" His voice, in contrast to hers, was deep and gruff, and if she wasn't mistaken, there was a little humor threading through it. Was he teasing her? Because while, yes, he was larger than her, she was the one holding a pointy metal death stick. "I might," she said, wishing there wasn't a warm, tingly awareness settling low in her belly. Competing with the fear still coursing through her veins, rugged good looks had never been a more accurate description. This guy had it down to an art form.